Hello, everybody. I don't know if I put these slides in the correct order, but here goes nothing. Welcome back for episode 12. We're recapping the All Star break. Um, Sorry about that. We're recapping the All Star race, but the All Star races, I should say. But yeah, no, we're here. We're ready to fuck shit up, if I should say so myself. Welcome back to episode 12. There it is, All Star recap. I knew I put it in there. All right. So, as you see in the photo, there's two people that are missing tonight. That'd be Shiesty, fucking weird, and Big Mike. Fucking Big Mike's doing Big Mike things. He's working. That's why he's not here tonight. But I am joined by the fucking devilish handsome man that is on the show, which is Mr. Nep. Nep Dog, welcome back, buddy.
Well, thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Um, Small panels, small shows. So, yeah,
Small panels.
Shiesty, we're gonna have to find him or something because right as we're about to start, he messaged, "Not gonna make it, guys."
Weird. Weird. Of course
Right?
he didn't make it.
Sorry for short notice. It's well,
But it's all good. We were running a little late tonight, but we're here and we're doing this shit. So yeah, that's where we are. But we should have a fun show tonight. It's not gonna be just Nep talking about his Nep stuff. We're gonna be fucking discussing it all. We'll probably be on here roughly an hour. Let's put some time in here, discuss a lot of things. If you're in the comments, by all means, hop in here and fucking say some stuff. And yeah, come be a part of the show. Come be a part of the show. But without further ado, let's move on to some things that I have changed this week. I know some of you guys watched the short I put together, but as you can see, that's blurry as fuck. Whoa, why are those blurry? Why are those blurry? Holy hell. Hold on. We're not letting the show go down like this. Alright, present. We're back. Oh my god, it's still blurry. A lot of these pictures are blurry. Okay, well, we're just going to leave it here for a second, but as you guys saw, I changed over the header to the channel. I changed the channel name. I even changed the PSN. Um, Mike actually helped me pick out the name for it. That was a decision that I've been slowly leaning towards. I didn't want people just to have my name on it. Um, so we changed it and we went this route. And yeah, I mean, it was a channel makeover. Channel looks cool as shit. Um, Definitely it ties together really well. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Nep, I think we're gonna have to get you a channel one of these days, man. Get you thrown together.
I have to figure out how to do all that.
Well, I'm a pro at it, kind of, sort of, and I'll help you right out with that.
I mean, I
Um,
do. I think I do have a YouTube
yep,
channel.
yep.
It's just I never freaking
News it. Yep.
yeah, you know. I think the only thing I ever had it for is because my son he lives in you know well he at the time he was living in Alabama
Mhm.
and I'm up here in North Carolina and
Mhm.
I would go to the races and I would record the races
Yep.
so that and then I would post them on my YouTube page so that he could go onto my YouTube page and watch it. So
Yeah. No. Exactly that. Um. But yeah. I mean, we'll have to get you thrown together because we want to see your POVs. I'm sure you have some cool ass POVs. Especially, listen, you bring Nep to Super Speedway, dude's gonna finish top three. He's ready to come out and get his first win. He knows that's our best opportunity for him, and he takes advantage of it. I want to see Nep in victory lane this season. I want to fucking see it.
man, I'm trying.
Nep, if you don't
um,
fucking try harder, man, we gotta get you a win.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to upcoming races.
Yep.
Dover definitely.
Mm-hmm.
In the off season, I was really working real good. Me and Trickle got on with me and was helping me with adjustments and finding lines and stuff like that. We've got Talladega coming up. Another, of course, Super Speedway. Another track that I was pretty decent at was Indy. So, like I said last week, um, the second half of the season, I'm going to try to turn things around instead of being that mid to back of the pack car. Try to get up there and mix with the boys, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, Nep, you're there, man. You're fucking there. But we'll see you get closer
You
as
know,
time goes on. I think you're going to be a
we'll
force to be
talk
reckoned
about
with.
it. We'll talk about it in all, when we cover the race. But
Mm-hmm.
at the All Star race for the Cup, um, I qualified fourth. Of course, granted, there was only like a handful of people that actually showed up, but still counts as a fourth place start. So, unfortunately, it's not a points race, so I don't know if that goes on the stats or not. But started fourth, had a pretty decent car. Coming down to the end, I was basically I pitted, and naturally we ran no stages, so it was just a matter of when you pit, you're going to go laps down, a couple laps down. I get out of the pits. I went from 8th place all the way back to 14th because of the pitting, and I'm trying to hold my ground because I knew
Mm-hmm.
I had enough to get me to the end of the race, and I knew there was going to be people that was going to have to pit,
Yep.
and a late caution came out. And it's like, well, that screwed me. But I was still able to, finish 11th place. So I
Yep.
was happy with my performance in the All Star race.
Yeah, man. I think you did pretty good there. You just missed the top 10, and it's an all-star race. You come out and you give your best, and like you said, no cautions, no stage breaks. You had to fucking toughen it out, and you toughened it out, and at least got yourself in a decent position. But don't want to cut you off there, Net. But finally, they loaded. So these are the new logos for the new channel, Temple Racing Television. I think that looks sweet as fuck. It looks so good. I did such a good job with that.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
gonna be the short. You're gonna see this in probably in a couple photos, stuff like that. It's just that's the name of the game, Temple Racing Television, TRT. It's fucking it looks cool. It came out sick. And this is the PlayStation one with a handle. But without further ado, this is table of contents. Again, Mike's not gonna be here. He is currently dealing with work stuff. So me and Nep are gonna run around through the weekly race report and Mike's track attack. Cut it short, simple, and sweet tonight. But without further ado, Nep, take it over. It's race report week.
Thank you, Josh. This week's next weekly race report it's a short one. We only had two races to discuss. We had the Xfinity Series race at Rockingham for the their All Star race, and we had a Cups All Star race at North Wilkesboro. Two legendary tracks that, as we all know, in the NASCAR series, in the real life modern day, were legendary tracks that NASCAR had separated from. Here recently, I think over the past 2 years, they actually went back, revamped North Wilkesboro, and actually started running their All Star race this year on my birthday weekend. They will be running their first points race since I'm probably going to get the date wrong, but I believe 1996.
Nep, and
So
when's your birthday? Let's make that clear so we all know. So we all know when
July
this
18th.
July 18th, everybody. That is Nep Day. And if you don't fucking come in there and say it's Nep Day, if you're in the league and you don't say it's Nep Day, you're fucked up. July 18th, it's fucking Nep Day.
Right. So, well, thank you for that, Josh. But yeah, so, they're, I'm looking forward to that. I've been trying to get out there for the All Star race, but of course, with it being an All Star race, the tickets have just been ridiculously high. So I might try to make it to the race this year with my dad. So, so that should be fun. And then, they just recently repaved and opened back up Rockingham. Cup's not running there yet, but I believe Xfinity and Trucks run there this season. So, it's good to see those two tracks come back, because they, like North Wilkesboro, I mean, it was just like dying, so it's good to see those two tracks and the history that goes with them. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. That's my son calling. Sorry, I'll call you back, Charles. um, the first race was Sunday night at Rockingham for the All-Star race for Xfinity, um, there was some questions as to whether, Cup guys were going to be able to run in it or not. And, the league, that they made the decision. They said, you know what, let's have the Xfinity guys, it's their race, let them have at it. And Josh, who was on the pole for that race?
Who was on the pole for the House of Vets Xfinity Series All-Star race at Rockingham? Is that the
Yes,
race
sir.
we're talking about?
Yes,
The
sir.
pole sitter was Heavy D. He sat on the pole with like a 2/10 pole start thing. He was ahead.
Good job, Heavy D. You know, I just buzzed through it. Watching your replay, Josh. I was unable to
Yep.
make it to be able to watch it live Sunday
Yep.
night,
For sure.
but I watched your replay and all that, and y'all had some fun out there.
Dude, we had a blast.
Um,
I had such a great time. It was insane. And yeah, I mean, there were some crazy battles, and on the beginning of that race, I couldn't do shit. Could not do shit. But yeah. Yeah, it was a wild race altogether. As you guys will see in a minute, there was a very surprising thing there that happened for the winner of the race, and we'll talk about that here in a second.
Now, let me ask you real quick, Josh, since you were in that race. You've been running all these races with stages and all. How fun or how frustrating was it to run a full race with no cautions? I mean, no stages to give y'all breaks. So, strategy wise, what was your mindset at during that race?
So my mindset was I was thinking of stretching it out a lot, and I definitely did with the fuel mileage. And I yeah, so I definitely did stretch it out. I made it work. But somehow, some way, that was a whole different story.
That's one thing we talked about after the race in the Cup race. We were in a group and we were kind of talking, and yeah, some of the guys like, no, don't ever want to, unless it's like an all-star race or a special race, don't ever want to do it again. And the other guys like, man, I liked it. I felt you had to do more strategizing, because with the way the stages are set up and we only run 50% races, most of the time, the first and second stage, you can pretty much make it without even making a pit stop. And then on that last stage, you normally would have to make one pit stop. So with not knowing when you're going to, if a caution is going to come out or what, you really had to make that base setup that you start the race last you until an actual green flag pit stop. And I enjoyed it. I think I even said, hey, I'll be willing to run the rest of the season with no stages. you know it makes it more of a strategizer.
Yeah, it
you
was
know
definitely a strategy, definitely. Like I said, I was in the beginning too, and it showed the difference in how people had their steering and stuff set up. But like, I I yeah, in the beginning, I had the car set up definitely so I could save the right front tire. That was a big thing. And especially there, like you're sliding the car around a lot, you can charge the corner hard and the car will push up. So I was trying to save a little bit of tire. So that's what happened in the beginning, and you saw in the long run it pay off. But with all the different strategies going on, because like you said, there was a lot of strategizing going on. It definitely um it definitely played a huge factor. And no one knew what was going to happen. So yeah, I mean, kudos to a race like that. But yeah, definitely kudos to a race like that. That was for
yeah.
sure something crazy. Honestly, I would love to do that for the rest of the season because it does bring out a whole different animal in the driver.
Oh yeah, I mean it was fun. um but as the laps winded down, coming coming to the end of the race, I was so glad when watching the stream back. You ended up with having only 3 cars on the lead lap. Yourself, Heavy D, and J Clay. And y'all were battling it, Heavy D and J Clay battling it out. And J Clay was able to pick up the win and win the All-Star race. Congratulations to J Clay. I know he's been looking for that win. Now, all I can say to him, you got the All-Star, you got that win of the season out of the way. Now go get it done at a points race.
And Jay's been close, Nep. He's been close a couple times.
What was it, Portland?
Portland, he ran out of gas in the last corner, and he was on my right rear quarter.
And Jay's one of them. He criticizes himself. He's like, well, I'm on a controller, so I've got a disadvantage. But
yep.
I personally believe Jay would be a top candidate to be moving up into the Cup Series in season 2.
Yeah.
He's got the drive. Good Lord. He's got the drive. I mean, he's really getting on and working on his craftsmanship and all that. So he's a great guy to run with, and I look forward to seeing what he does the rest of the season. When we get to the playoffs and the points get shuffled around, he could be one that gives you a run for the money.
Definitely. Jay has the talent to really sneak something out, and that's what he did in that All-Star race, and it worked out in his favor tremendously. So, in all seriousness, like I said, I think our championship 4, and I'm a little questionable about the 4th person, but I think you see Jay, Heavy, and myself in it. The 4th person, it's going to be my honest feeling on it, is between Mountain Dew, Beer Stick, and Hamrick. I think those guys are going to be the ones fighting for that final championship 4 spot. But you might have a Lakille come in and steal it. So you don't know. Again, Bob, he's been in championship 4s before in his racing career. So he could also come up and step up and be that 4th and final driver. Man, I don't know, man. It's hard as hell. It's hard to figure out who's going to make that.
I think it's going to come. I feel you're, in my opinion, you're going to be a shoe-in when it comes down to that last race for the championship, the final 4. I would put Beer Stick in there, J Clay, and I feel it's going to be a battle for that 4th spot between Mountain Dew, Heavy D, and Lakilla. So it's going to be interesting to see what 4 cars are competing for that championship. So
also it comes down to playoff points. So that's going to play a huge thing in the playoffs. But as we know, as we see, I think if I remember correctly, the playoff standings, I think there's only 3 or 4 people with playoff points. So if there's only 4, you might have 1 or 2 or 3 playoff points, but they're going to play a huge fucking thing for you when it comes down to playoff racing. Especially since I won't get into that yet. We'll save that for the end. We'll talk about that. But but yeah, for sure. We should definitely jump on here and go to Cup, because Cup of course ran one themselves, and we'll go into that. Nep, you raced it, so you have more info on it versus what I do. But
yeah, Monday night we were, the Cup guys were, had our All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. 125 laps, and I might not have meant to. Both races were 125 laps. North Wilkesboro, from my aspect, I mean, Baines let us off. He got qualifying pole for that race, and we took off, and it took a couple of laps for your tires to come in. You had to be real throttle friendly coming out of the turns, because if you gave it too much gas, you were just looping it, as Rowdy found out a couple of times, and other guys as well. You really, had to be on and off the gas and brake, and kind of letting the car. You didn't want to overdrive the car because it was not going to end well. I had an outstanding race. Bain, Baines has become a top contender in this league. I feel he's, you know, we've got a lot of mile and a halves coming up, and he's really shown to be a top candidate at those tracks. You Samo had a great run. It was about saving your tires, and not so much like I had said. I wasn't focusing on turning fast, real fast laps. I was just trying to stay consistent. I knew with not having the stages, I was going to try to make my tires. I needed to, well, not try to, but I needed to make my tires and my fuel last as long as possible. And, so that maybe I could make a play there towards the end. And I think, all in all, was running good. I got down a lap early. About a quarter way in, I did get lapped, but I was staying up there in the top 10. And that's what my main focus is, at least get a top 10 finish. And like I had mentioned earlier, the last round of green flag pit stops, my tires were shot on the passenger side, and I just couldn't hold it anymore. And I knew if I stayed out any longer, I was going to end up wrecking, and that would have just really hurt me. So I went ahead, and me and Le Killer was having a hell of a battle for, I want to say, almost 5-10 laps there. We were just running bumper to bumper, and he'd pass me, I'd pass him, and I just, he was able to, he got past me, and I was like, okay, instead of trying to chase him down, my tires are wearing out, let me go ahead and pit. So I went ahead and ducked off and pit. I was keeping track of how many laps were left. And I was like, okay, I can go in and make a 2-tire change. And because my driver's side tires were good, it was just my passenger side that were wearing. So I was like, I'll do a 2-tire stop, just throw like a little bit of gas in there to make sure that I made it to the finish of the race. Everybody else would have to pit too, and I'll be able to get make up in spots. Well, get out there, and I want to say probably about 3-4 laps later, the caution came out. And I'm like, damn it. It's like, well, there goes that strategy out the window, because naturally then everybody's pitting. And at that point, I'm 3 laps down, and and I'm not even the first car 3 laps down. So I went ahead and went in, fixed damage that I did have, because that's one thing I didn't do on the green flag pits, was worry about my damage.
Yeah, plus it takes too much time away, especially if you have like a 10 extra seconds.
Cautions,
Yep.
in between stages.
Mm-hmm.
You got plenty of time to fix damage, but green flags, 3-4 seconds of damage, man, that can cost you 5-6 positions, if not more. So, got back out there. Like I said, I was running 14th when the green flag dropped after the caution, and it's like, well, we're just gonna make the best out of this, no matter what. And went out there and was pushed. Was running good. Just ran out of laps and finished 11th in it. But hats off to Samo. Had a dominating car once again, as he would finish first, followed by Trickle, Reb Nation, Bames, Rowdy, and I want to say there was the caution. There was a couple incidents where guys
Rooster
lost
got
it.
5th. Good for him, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's one thing I said after the race. I mean, I was like, look at the Xfinity guys. James, 6th place. Lakilla, 7th place. Heavy D, 8th place. Because
Mm-hmm.
we let the Cup guys get in there that showed up, and then we told the Xfinity guys, be on standby because we want to run 20 cars. So, however many Cup guys show up, if
Yeah.
however many spots are available to get us to 20 cars, we was going to load them in by how they sat in points. So naturally you would have already been locked in because you're a part-time Cup guy. So it started with, I think it went J Clay, Heavy D, so on and so on down the line. So the Xfinity guys that were in the lobby actually got to run. So, and for the most part, all of them that ran, with the exception of Memphis, who came, he was having issues, so uh, he only completed 25 laps. But all the Xfinity guys, except for um, James and Memphis, had been able to run earlier in the season hot seat rides. So it was only right to let them go ahead and come in and have some fun with the Cup guys. And they all did phenomenal, even though, Jay Clay messed up at one point and like took MB out at the line.
Yeah, dude.
But
What really surprised me in this, besides Rooster, is fucking James have speed finishing 6th. That blows me away. Like him, Lakile's right behind
well,
him.
take
EMC,
nothing.
like, oh my
You
god,
know,
man.
take nothing away from James. He had a great run, but he was one of them that was holding on just like Lakilla. A lot of them, they were running um, between like 11th and back. Well, when people start right there at that last green flag pit stop, people were pitting and they knew that they were back. They were having to make up ground, so they actually stayed out and try to make it last a little bit longer. So it kind of worked in their advantage that caution came out when it did, because now you got some of the faster guys, or the guys that's been up front all day, they're pinned back 2-3 laps and they're only 1 lap down. So it once again, strategy. They could have, once they saw everybody cutting off going into the pits, they could have ducked off too, but they're like, you know what, let me take this gamble. Let me get a couple laps, go as long as I possibly can. And it worked out for them. The caution came out and it benefited and really showed, with the finishes they were able to finish. So hats off to everybody that showed up for that race. The race was an outstanding and it was fun. Really no bickering going on amongst people. I mean, we were just out there having a blast, having fun. And, I look forward to taking that momentum and how everybody handled themselves on the race and moving it to Monday. So, a great race, guys. But that's all I have for this week. 2 races,
Yes, you do,
short
Nep.
and sweet.
Yeah, perfect. That's what we want to hear. All right. Mike's not here for it, so I'm going to do it. Mike's Track Attack. Or I can say it like Mike's Track Attack. But anywho, so Mike goes through. He looks through the races that are coming up for next week. Talk about it a little bit. I filled in for him, and I'm going to take care of it for him. So, boys, hang on tight. This is going to be fun. Back to points. That's what we've been waiting for. Points racing. As you can see, Sunday, Xfinity goes to Nashville for 94 laps. That is going to be a great race. That's going to be another tire management race. You have to watch to make sure you don't rip the right front off the car, or make sure you don't burn the right rear off the car, because the car's going to spin. So you have to stay away from doing stuff like that.
Yeah, we ran Nashville already in the Cup Series, and yeah, you're right. That was something that we had to work on, is not burning our tires up.
Exactly that. And I mean, especially with those Xfinity cars, they don't, not that they don't hook up as well, but they burn the tires off the car way quicker than the Cup car. So it's gonna be great to see. I'm ready for it. Nashville's a tricky track as it is. I think you're gonna have these Xfinity cars hooked or there's gonna be people trying to push it way too loose, and they're gonna be a cause of a big wreck in this race. Um, just like at Pocono, people made their cars too loose, and they went to go throw it into the tunnel turn, which is turn two, and they were ripping the car around because they just set up too loose. You're gonna see more of the same thing like that happening here with some of these drivers. But after Sunday's done, Monday again, we're back. We're back. Wait, before that, sorry. This is for the Xfinity drivers. This is the last race before the playoffs. This is the final. This is the regular season finale. Come in, get whatever regular season playoff points you can get to get yourself more momentum to get into the start the round of eight. Um, it's important, guys. As you're going, I trust me, I know. As you're getting in the playoffs, you need. If you've been having a rough run at it since the season began, you got to come in swinging because that's the only thing that's going to make your season better. And with the playoffs right there, it's time to build it. If you miss the playoffs, by all means, you're good. Hop in there, run your asses off, and learn more for next season. So that's going to be fun. But after that, Monday, we're back to points racing in the Cup Series. We go to Dover for 200 laps. That's going to be a good one. Um, it's going to be another one that's going to rip the right front tire off the car. You got to preserve it. Um, so we got to definitely make sure we take care of that. And it's going to be very interesting. I know a couple guys like NASCAR, for instance, super quick here. Super quick. This is their home. This is his home track, and I think he's gonna come out swinging. So he's gonna be one to fucking watch. But like always, you got Samoa to watch. You're gonna have Trigun to watch because I believe he's back this week. So this is our fast guys, JPR like normal, rep like normal. There is the people that you're gonna have to really watch. NASCAR is gonna be that monkey wrench in the middle of it all because apparently he's really good here. It's his home track, so we get to see that all unfold. On Tuesday, we go to Sonoma. Fucking Sonoma, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be there for both races. I didn't make up my mind on that. I was thinking about broadcasting Sonoma, but Sonoma's a really fun race road course. Like that is a very racy track. Um, and I would love to go and do battle with the guys there, so I'll definitely be there. But yeah, and that's 55 laps. So as you guys know, to get around Sonoma's what, a minute 50, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a race that's going to be an hour and a half. So that's going to be an endurance race, especially with all the turns and up in the Cup Series. There's not many cautions because people drive, they give room when need be, stuff like that. So that's going to be a very interesting one to see. But in other news, this was going to be a quick episode. There was not much to talk about tonight. Um, so I want to give a shout out, as always, to Dubby. Use my code, which is temp26. Go get 10% off your order. Go to www.dubby.gg. Go check them out. Pick up some cool stuff. I know the one I got is like a sour. It's like a sour cherry. Man, that is some shit. And you want to talk about waking your ass the fuck up? That wakes you up. If like even if you're laying in your deathbed, it wakes you the fuck up. Mike's sponsored by him too. Go check out Mike's stuff. Go check out his links. He's got it over on his TikTok. He's now got an Instagram up. He's got a Facebook up. And he's got a TikTok. So definitely give Mike a shout. He's on YouTube and he's on Twitch. Go give him a follow. Take his code 10% off, just like mine is. And Mike got something else. I think Mike got like a fruitier one. He said it was delicious. So definitely, it's a great product. Great product. Also, if you live in Jamestown, New York, and that is Jamestown, New York, that is Western New York, go hit up First Place Auto Glass for anything to do with your car's need when it comes to glass, comes to windshield wipers. Please hit Bob up. Bob is an amazing guy. He's been part of the racing league for quite some time now. Between dirt and the NASCAR stuff, he's always hung around. Bob's an excellent guy. He lives like 5.5 to 6 hours away from me, but he's a really fucking really cool ass dude. So definitely go check his stuff out. But Nep, we should get this pretty done easy. thanks everyone for showing up tonight. It was a short show, but it was thrown together and was ready to rock and ready for you guys. So thank you very much for popping in here. Nep, as always, thank you for showing up and being a part of the show. It's always great having you.
Hey, every chance I get, I'm gonna be here, boss.
Amen. Well, on the count of three, let's say it. 1, 2, 3. To be
To be
continued.
continued.
All right.
You pause there in
Whatever. That's
between
fine.
it.
And again, thank you everyone for tuning in to Superpower Hour. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. As always, from all of us here at Temple Raising Television, have a